I never thought I'd be sitting in my parents' living room watching my mother cry crocodile tears while demanding I sacrifice my only chance at motherhood. But here I was, clutching my phone so tight my knuckles turned white as she wailed about family duty and my brother's perfect wedding. My name is Sienna, and at 34, I've spent most of my life being the responsible one, the invisible one, the one who always said yes. But not today. Absolutely not, I said, my voice steadier than I felt. That money is for my IVF treatment. My brother Killian sprawled on the leather armchair across from me, smirking. Come on, sis, you're being selfish. This is my wedding we're talking about, to Audrey Harrison. The Harrisons, my father interjected, pacing behind the couch. Do you understand what this means for our family, their hotel empire, the connections? I laughed, a hollow sound that surprised even me. You mean the same family I should care about after paying off your credit card debt last year? Or maybe after covering Mum's emergency dental work? That was different, Mum sniffled, dabbing at her eyes with a monogrammed handkerchief. We're your parents, and this is my future child. My hand instinctively went to my stomach. My only chance. Killian rolled his eyes. Drama queen, you could just adopt or something. Like you adopted responsibility, I shot back. Tell me, how's that job search going? I'm networking. You're mooching, I corrected. And now you want my IVF fund for your wedding? The money I've been saving for 5 years? Dad slammed his hand on the coffee table, making Mum jump. Enough! This family has always supported each other. Your brother needs this wedding to secure his future. The Harrisons expect certain standards. Standards you can't afford, I said quietly. So you want me to give up my dream instead? It's just money, Mum pleaded. You can always save up again. My phone buzzed. A text from work about a child advocacy case. The irony wasn't lost on me. I've given you everything, I said, standing up. My 20s, my savings, my inheritance from Grandma. Yes, Mum, I know you spent that too, but not this, not my baby. Then you're not our daughter anymore, Dad declared, his face red. If you can't support this family in its time of need. Need? I laughed again, grabbing my purse. Killian wants a fountain of champagne and a dozen white doves. That's not need. That's entitlement. Sienna Richardson, Mum stood, mascara streaking down her cheeks. If you walk out that door, you'll what? Disown me? Take more money I don't have? Go ahead. I reached the front door, my hands shaking as I turned the handle. I'm done being your ATM. You ungrateful bitch, Killian spat. After everything we've done for you. I spun around. Name one thing you've done for me in the last decade. I'll wait. The silence was deafening. That's what I thought. I opened the door. Good luck with the wedding. Send me a picture of the doves. I made it to my car before the tears started, but I refused to let them see me cry. As I pulled out of the driveway, I caught a glimpse of Mom in the window, already on the phone, probably calling relatives to tell them how I'd betrayed the family. My phone kept buzzing. Text after text, mostly variations of "How dare you" and "You'll regret this." I pulled over in a grocery store parking lot and deleted their numbers one by one. Mum, Dad, Killian, various aunts and uncles who'd surface when they needed favours. Delete, delete, delete. Then a different message popped up. From Dr. Amara, my fertility specialist. We need to talk urgently. It's not about your treatment. I stared at the screen, my heart pounding. What now? My apartment felt empty when I finally got home, but for the first time in years, the silence didn't feel suffocating. I curled up on my couch, wrapped in the quilt my grandmother made before she died, and let myself really cry. Not for them, for the little girl who spent decades believing that if she just tried harder, gave more, they'd finally love her the way they loved Killian. Dr. Amara's message still waited for a response. Whatever she needed to tell me, it could wait until morning. Tonight was for grieving the family I thought I had, and maybe, just maybe, celebrating the strength to finally say no. My phone buzzed one last time. Another text from Mom. "You'll never have a family without us." I typed back 3 words before blocking her number. Watch me thrive. Dr. Amara's office always felt more like a living room than a medical space, with its soft lighting and comfortable armchairs. But today, the tension in the air was palpable as she closed the door behind me. "Thank you for coming in so quickly," she said, gesturing for me to sit. "I heard about what happened with your family." I stiffened. "How?" "Because your parents came to see my husband yesterday." She leaned forward, her dark eyes intense. "At the bank, where he's the manager." "Oh, God!" My stomach dropped. "They're trying to get a loan?" "A rather substantial one." She pulled out her phone and played a video, security footage from the bank. There were my parents, dressed in their Sunday best, talking to a tall man I assumed was Ezra, Dr. Amara's husband. The audio was clear enough to make me wince. "Our daughter Sienna works at the Children's Advocacy Centre," Mum was saying. "Such important work. We're so proud. She'll be co-signing, of course." "Like hell I will," I muttered. Dr. Amara paused the video. "Ezra knew something was off. He remembered your name from my files, and, well, we talk. They can't actually forge my signature, can they?" "They can try." She set down her phone. "But that's not why I called you in. I want to talk about your ex-husband." The mention of Marcus made my chest tight. "What about him? You never told me the full story of why IVF is your only option. I need to know, for medical reasons. Yes, but also because I think it's relevant to what's happening now." I closed my eyes, the memories flooding back. Marcus wanted kids, desperately. But when we found out I had fertility issues, he changed, started tracking my cycles, monitoring my diet, my exercise. It became an obsession. And then he started sleeping with his secretary. I laughed bitterly, because in his words, he needed to know it wasn't him that was broken. "What a charming man," Dr. Amara said dryly. "The affair I could have handled. But he took out loans in my name for fertility treatments I never agreed to, maxed out credit cards. By the time I found out, my credit was destroyed." I wiped away a tear. "That's why I've been saving cash for IVF. No loans, no one controlling my body but me. And now your family wants to take that from you too." She stood up and walked to her desk, pulling out a thick folder. "Which is why I called in reinforcements." The door opened, and a tall man in an expensive suit walked in. "Hello, Sienna. I'm Ezra." Dr. Amara smiled. "My husband has something to show you." Ezra laid out several documents on the coffee table. "Your parents didn't just name-drop you at the bank. They brought paperwork, supposedly signed by you, agreeing to co-sign a business loan." My hands shook as I picked up the papers. "That's not my signature." "No, it's not," he agreed. "And I have security footage of your father practicing your signature in his car before coming in." Jesus Christ, I felt sick. "Here's what we're going to do," Dr. Amara said firmly. "First, you're going to move your IVF fund to a new bank, not Ezra's, to avoid any conflict of interest. Then you're going to document every penny you've ever given your family, every loan, every gift, every bill you paid." "Why?" "Because," Ezra said, "when they realize they can't get this loan, they're going to come after you, and we need to be ready." My phone buzzed, a text from my friend Josephine. "Heard what happened? I'm a journalist, remember? Let me help dig." Dr. Amara squeezed my hand. "You're not alone anymore, Sienna. Let us help you." I don't know what to say. "Say you'll fight back," she replied, "not with anger or revenge, but with truth. It's time they learned actions have consequences." Ezra's phone chimed. He looked at it and frowned. "Speaking of consequences, Your parents just left the bank. They're telling everyone who'll listen that you promised to help with the loan. Let them talk, I said, straightening my spine. I'm done being their puppet. That's my girl, Dr. Amara smiled. Now, let's talk strategy. And Sienna, your next IVF consultation is still on schedule. Some dreams are worth protecting. As I left the office, I felt lighter somehow. My family might have declared war, but for the first time, I had an army of my own. My phone buzzed again, an unknown number, a text from someone named Noah from my support group. Missed you at therapy today. Hope you're okay. I smiled just a little. Maybe I wasn't as alone as I thought. Your parents claimed you as a dependent on their taxes, Josephine said, spreading documents across my kitchen table. For the last 3 years. I nearly choked on my coffee. That's impossible. I haven't lived with them since college. Not only that. She pushed another paper toward me. They've been collecting your federal benefits. Remember that stimulus check you never got during the pandemic? My hands trembled as I picked up the document. They stole my COVID relief money. Emma says, among other things. Josephine tucked her red hair behind her ear, her reporter's notebook already full of scribbled notes. Want to know the best part? Your brother's wedding venue. It's being partially paid for with pandemic relief funds they claimed for a family business that doesn't exist. A knock at my door made us both jump. I opened it to find Noah from group therapy, holding a paper bag. Sorry to drop by, he said, his quiet voice apologetic. You missed 2 sessions and I thought, well, I brought muffins. Perfect timing, Josephine called out. We need stress-eating fuel. Noah's eyes widened at the paper explosion across my table. Should I go? No, I said quickly. Stay, please. I could use a voice of reason. He sat down, carefully moving papers to make space. Is this about your family? It's about fraud, Josephine corrected. Beautiful, documented, prosecutable fraud. My phone rang. Ezra's number. I put it on speaker. Sienna, his voice was tight. We have a problem. Your parents just tried to submit loan paperwork with your forged signature. Again. Different bank this time. Noah's gentle face hardened. They're not going to stop, are they? No, I whispered. They never do. Josephine was already typing on her laptop. Got it. 3 loan applications in 2 days, all with Sienna's forged signature. Plus the tax fraud, benefit theft, and... Oh, this is interesting. What? Your childhood home, the one they still live in, you're listed as a co-owner. The room spun. Since when? Since your father took out a second mortgage 5 years ago, needed a co-signer with good credit. Guess whose signature is on that paperwork? Noah touched my arm gently. Breathe, Sienna. I'm calling my lawyer, Ezra said through the phone. This is beyond bank fraud now. I sank into a chair, the weight of it all crushing me. If I report them, they'll go to jail. If you don't, Noah said quietly, they'll destroy you. Josephine closed her laptop. He's right. This isn't about revenge anymore. It's about survival. My phone buzzed with a text from Killian. Mum's crying because another bank rejected them. Hope you're happy, you selfish bitch. Noah read it over my shoulder and frowned. In group, you never mentioned how bad it was. Shame is a powerful silencer, I said. So is love, he replied, even when it's toxic. Josephine stood up suddenly. Speaking of toxic, your brother's fiancée, Audrey, just posted something interesting on Instagram. A story about uncovering disturbing truths about her future in-laws. Show me. She handed me her phone. There was Audrey, perfect makeup and worried eyes with a cryptic caption. Sometimes the perfect family isn't what it seems. Truth coming soon. What does she know? Noah asked. I don't know, I said. But my phone rang again. Unknown number. I answered cautiously. Is this Sienna? A woman's voice, elegant and strained. This is Audrey Harrison. We need to talk. There's something you should know about your family. Something big." I put the phone on speaker. "I'm listening." "Not over the phone," she said. "Meet me at the Riverside Cafe tomorrow at noon. Come alone. Please, this is important." After she hung up, the room was silent. "It's a trap," Josephine said finally. "Maybe," Noah agreed, "or maybe she's another victim." I looked at the papers scattered across my table, evidence of years of lies and theft. Either way, I'm going. I need to know. "I'll be at the cafe too," Josephine said, "at another table, just in case." "Same," Noah added softly. "You don't have to do this alone." My phone lit up with a final text from Ezra. "Just got the surveillance footage of your father forging your signature. It's clear as day. The choice is yours now, but we're ready to act when you are." I looked at Noah's concerned face, at Josephine's determined one, at the evidence of my family's betrayal spread out before me. "Okay," I said, "let's see what Audrey has to say, and then we burn it all down." "Legally," Josephine added with a smile. "Legally," I agreed, "but completely." The Riverside Cafe buzzed with lunchtime chatter, but I could still hear my heart pounding as Audrey slid into the seat across from me. Her perfect manicure tapped nervously against her water glass. From the corner of my eye, I spotted Josephine pretending to read a newspaper 3 tables away. Noah sat at the counter, seemingly absorbed in his laptop. "Thank you for coming," Audrey said, her voice barely above a whisper. I didn't know who else to talk to. "What's going on?" She glanced around before pulling out her phone. "Last night was our engagement party. My father, he overheard something." She pressed play on a video. The elegant Harrison mansion filled the screen, crystal glasses clinking as my father's voice carried over the crowd. "Of course we can afford it. The Richardson name still means something in this town." Then my mother giggling. "Once everything's finalised, we'll be set for life." "Watch my father's face," Audrey whispered. The camera panned to an older man in an expensive suit, his expression darkening as he listened. He pulled out his phone, made a call, and walked away. "He was calling his investigator," Audrey said. "Daddy always investigates business partners and future family." My stomach churned. What did he find? Everything. She pulled out a folder. The fake business, the forged loans, the tax fraud, but there's more. Her hands shook. "Did you know about the offshore account?" "The what?" "Your parents have been moving money around. Small amounts, but consistent. Daddy's investigator thinks they're planning to take the wedding money and run, leave Killian and me with the debt." I sat back, stunned. "Does Killian know?" "Killian's in on it." Tears welled in her eyes. "I found messages on his phone. He's been helping them set it up. They're using our wedding as one last big score." "Jesus Christ!" "That's not all." She leaned forward. "There's a woman who's been trying to contact me, says she's related to your family, says your mother has secrets that could ruin everything." My phone buzzed, a text from Noah. "Your brother just walked in the front door." "We need to go," I said, standing up. "Now." But it was too late. Killian's voice boomed across the cafe. Well, having a little chat with my fiancé, sis." Audrey went pale. "Killian, Save it." His face was twisted with rage. "I saw you take those documents from Daddy's office, you little spy." People were staring now. Josephine had her phone out, recording. "Back off, Killian," I warned. "Or what?" He grabbed Audrey's arm. "You'll tell everyone our family secrets. Go ahead. No one will believe you over us." "Let go of me," Audrey hissed. Noah appeared beside us, his quiet presence somehow commanding. "The lady asked you to let go." "Stay out of this," Killian snapped, but he released Audrey's arm. "It's over," she said, grabbing her purse. "The wedding's off. My father knows everything." Killian's face went from red to white. "You can't." "I can and I am." She turned to me. "I'm sorry, Sienna, for everything, and be careful. That woman who's been calling, she's not lying. Ask your mother about July 1988. She hurried out, leaving Killian sputtering. He turned on me, finger pointed. "You did this! You ruined everything!" "No," I said calmly. "You did that all by yourself. When Mum and Dad find out, they'll what?" Josephine stood up, phone still recording. "Forge more documents? Steal more money? By the way, I'm Josephine. I'm a journalist. Want to comment on the offshore account?" Killian backed away, nearly knocking over a chair. "You'll regret this," he spat. "All of you." After he stormed out, Noah touched my shoulder. "Are you okay?" "No," I admitted. "July 1988. What happened in July 1988? Josephine was already typing on her phone. "Give me an hour, I'll find out." My phone rang. Dr. Amara. "Sienna, Ezra just called. Your parents are at the bank again. They're threatening to sue him for discrimination if he doesn't approve the loan." "Let them try," I said. "I'm done protecting them." "Good," she said firmly, "because Ezra just reported the fraud attempt to the authorities." I looked at Noah, still standing protectively close, then at Josephine, already deep into her investigation. "July 1988, I murmured. "Mum would have been 22. "We'll figure it out," Noah said softly. My phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. "I know what happened in July 1988. I was there. I'm your sister." The cafe seemed to spin around me as Noah caught my arm, steadying me. "Well," Josephine said, reading over my shoulder, "this just got interesting." "Her name is Alyssa," Josephine said, spreading photos across my living room floor. "She's 33, works as a software engineer in Seattle, and according to these DNA test results, she's definitely your half-sister." I stared at the photos. A woman with my mother's eyes and smile, but darker hair. Warmer somehow, more real. "How did you find all this so quickly?" Noah asked, handing me a cup of tea. "I'm good at my job," Josephine shrugged. "Plus, Alyssa's been looking for your family for years. She has a whole digital trail." My phone rang. Alyssa's number. I answered on speaker. "Hi, Sienna." Her voice was soft, hesitant. I guess you know now." "Why didn't you come forward before?" "I tried, 3 times. Your mother threatened to sue me for harassment. Your father called me a liar. But then I saw the wedding announcement and I thought, maybe it's time for the truth." Noah squeezed my hand as I asked, "What truth?" "Helen, your mother, she had me when she was 22, gave me up for adoption, closed records. But she didn't just give me up. She erased me, told everyone I was stillborn." "Oh God," I whispered. "I found my birth records last year. She was engaged to your father when she got pregnant, but not by him, by her college professor." Josephine was furiously taking notes. "Do you have proof?" "DNA test, birth certificate, and letters between Helen and the professor. He wanted to marry her. She chose your father instead. Chose status over me." My hands shook as I picked up her photo. Would you want to meet?" "I'm actually in town," she said. "At the Marriott downtown. I came for the wedding, hoping to finally confront Helen. But maybe we could get coffee first." An hour later, I sat across from my half-sister in a quiet corner of the hotel restaurant. She had my grandmother's chin. "You look just like her," Alyssa said softly. "Our mother, but kinder." "She's not kind," I replied. "Never was." "I know. I've been following the family drama online. The fraud, the wedding scam. I'm sorry they hurt you too." Different ways, same pain. Noah and Josephine sat at the bar, giving us space but staying close. My phone buzzed. Dr. Amara. "Ezra just got word. The fraud investigation is official. Your parents' accounts are frozen." As if on cue, My mother's number flashed on my screen, then my father's, then Killian's. "They know," I said. Alyssa's face hardened. "Good, let them panic." "You don't understand. They'll come after you now. They'll try to destroy you. Let them try." She pulled out a USB drive. "I have 33 years of evidence. Every letter, every legal document, every attempt to contact them, even recordings of Helen threatening me." "Why didn't you expose them before?" "Because I wanted a mother, not revenge." She smiled sadly. "But now? Now I want justice. For both of us." My phone buzzed again. Ezra. "Your parents just showed up at the bank. They're hysterical. Security's removing them." "It's happening," I said. "Everything's falling apart for them." "Good," Alyssa replied. "Maybe they'll finally learn actions have consequences." Noah appeared at our table. "Sorry to interrupt, but you both need to see this." He held up his phone, a local news website. The headline made my heart stop. "Prominent family under investigation. Wedding fraud scheme exposed." "Josephine?" I asked. He nodded. "She had enough evidence. Her editor fast-tracked it." Alyssa reached across the table and took my hand. Her grip was strong, steady. "Are you okay?" "No," I admitted, "but I will be." My phone lit up with a final text from Dr. Amara. "Your IVF appointment is still on for Monday. Don't let them take this from you too. Family isn't always blood. Sometimes it's the people who stand with you when blood betrays you." I looked at Alyssa, at Noah, at Josephine still watching protectively from the bar, at the sister I never knew I had, and the friends who became more than family. "You know what's funny?" Alyssa said. "All those years I thought finding my birth mother would complete me. But maybe finding my sister was the real gift." Outside, I could hear sirens. My phone showed missed calls from every relative I had. The storm was coming. But for the first time in my life, I wasn't facing it alone. "Whatever happens next," I told Alyssa, "we face it together." She squeezed my hand. "Together?" The security footage from Ezra's bank played on his office monitor, showing my parents in full meltdown mode. Mum's mascara streaked down her face as she screamed at the security guard while Dad pounded his fist on the counter. "We demand to speak to the manager!" Mum shrieked. "Do you know who we are?" Ezra paused the video. "They tried this at 3 different branches today. Same result each time." "How are they still not arrested?" Josephine asked, scribbling in her notebook. "Oh, they will be." Ezra pulled out a stack of documents. "The fraud investigation is complete. Police are just building their case carefully." My phone buzzed. A text from Alyssa. "Turn on Channel 7 News now." I grabbed the remote for Ezra's office TV. The local news anchor's face filled the screen. Breaking news in the developing wedding fraud scandal. Local businessman Killian Richardson has been arrested for wire fraud related to his upcoming wedding's RSVP system. "What?" I leaned forward. "Sources say Richardson created fake vendor payment links in the wedding RSVP portal, redirecting guest payments to personal accounts. Multiple guests have reported unauthorized charges." Josephine was already typing on her phone. "He tried to scam the wedding guests. Classic Killian." My phone exploded with notifications, texts from relatives, old friends, even my ex-husband Marcus. "Saw the news. Guess the golden boy wasn't so golden." Then came the call I'd been dreading. "Mom," I put it on speaker. "You did this," she screamed. "You and that bastard child of mine. How dare you destroy this family?" "Hello, Helen," Alyssa's voice came from the doorway. She walked in, calm and collected. "Remember me?" Mum went silent. "I've got the DNA test results right here," Alyssa continued. "Want me to send them to the press? Or should we talk about July 1988? You have no proof?" "I have letters," Alyssa cut in, from Professor Andrews about how you chose money over love over your own child. You're lying! The same way you lied about Sienna co-signing those loans, Ezra interjected. We have footage of Carl practicing her signature in his car. A commotion in the background. Dad's voice. Helen, the police are here. Good, I said clearly. Maybe jail time will teach you about consequences. You ungrateful... The call cut off. Josephine's phone chimed. Audrey just sent me screenshots. Killian was planning to take the wedding money and run to Mexico without her. Classic Killian, I muttered. Noah appeared in the doorway, slightly out of breath. Just saw police cars at your parents' house. They're being taken in for questioning. My phone buzzed again. Dr. Amara. Your IVF fund is safe in the new account. First treatment still scheduled for next week. Don't let this derail your dreams. Ezra's office phone rang. He answered, listened, then smiled. That was the fraud department. Your parents' accounts are officially frozen, all of them, even the offshore ones. What about the house? I asked. Since they forged your signature as co-owner, it's going into foreclosure. They have 30 days to vacate. The reality of it all hit me at once. My family was imploding, their carefully constructed facade crumbling in real time. Sienna? Noah's gentle voice broke through my thoughts. You okay? I don't know, I admitted. They're horrible people, but they're still your parents, Alyssa finished. I get it. I spent years wanting Helen's approval, even after she threatened me with restraining orders. Josephine's phone buzzed again. Oh, this is good. Audrey's father is pressing charges too. Something about investment fraud. The Harrisons don't play around, Ezra noted. My phone lit up with a text from Killian. Hope you're happy. You've ruined everything. I'm facing jail time because of you. Alyssa read it over my shoulder and snorted. You're facing jail time because you're a criminal, little brother. I typed back, actions have consequences. Welcome to the real world. Then I blocked his number. What now? Noah asked softly. Now, I said, standing up, I'm going to visit my childhood home one last time before they lose it. Want company? Alyssa offered. I looked around the room, at my half-sister, at Noah's concerned face, at Josephine's fierce loyalty, at Ezra's quiet strength. Yes, I said, I think I do. As we left Ezra's office, my phone buzzed one final time. A news alert. Local families fall from grace. A story of fraud, hidden children, and justice. Ready? Noah asked, holding out his hand. I took it, feeling stronger than I had in years. Ready? The time for hiding was over. The truth was finally having its day. The photo of Killian in handcuffs made the front page of every local news site. My golden boy brother being led out of his favourite country club in front of all his society friends. The headlines were brutal. Wedding scammer arrested mid-reception, family fraud empire crumbles, golden sons fall from grace. Your brother tried to run, Josephine said, scrolling through her phone as we sat in Dr. Amara's waiting room. Security caught him trying to sneak out through the kitchen. Of course he did, I muttered, rolling up my sleeve for my first IVF injection. He never could face consequences. Dr. Amara entered with a warm smile. Ready to start your journey to motherhood? More than ready. As she prepared the injection, my phone buzzed with a text from Audrey. Thought you should see this. Attached was a video of my mother being escorted from the country club, screaming about family loyalty, while the Harrison family watched in silent judgment. Deep breath, Dr. Amara said, administering the shot. This is your moment. Don't let them steal it. Josephine's phone chimed. My article just went live, full exposé. Alyssa gave an incredible interview. I read the headline, The Hidden Richardson Daughter Speaks, a tale of abandonment, fraud and redemption. How's Alyssa handling it? Dr. Amara asked. Better than our mother, I said. Helen's lawyer quit this morning. Apparently, she threatened him too. My phone lit up. Noah calling. You need to see the house, he said without preamble. They're packing everything up, including your grandmother's things. 30 minutes later, I stood in my childhood driveway. Moving trucks lined the street as my parents frantically loaded boxes. They can't take Grandma's antiques, I said. Those were left to me specifically. I have the will right here, Alyssa said, appearing beside me with a folder. Shall we? We walked up together, Noah and Josephine flanking us like guards. Mum saw us first, dropping a box of china. You, she pointed at Alyssa, you destroyed my life. No, Helen, Alyssa replied calmly. You did that yourself, in 1988, and every day since. Those antiques stay, I said firmly. They're mine legally. Nothing is yours. Dad emerged from the garage, red-faced. You're not our daughter anymore. Actually, Ezra's voice came from behind us. He walked up the driveway holding documents. According to these property records, Sienna is still co-owner of this house, thanks to your fraud. Which means, Josephine added, recording everything on her phone, she has every right to be here. Mom lunged for the phone, but Noah stepped between them. Don't make this worse for yourself, Helen. Police sirens wailed in the distance, getting closer. That'll be about the new evidence, Ezra said mildly. The offshore accounts? We found them all. Dad's face went pale. Helen, get in the car. No one's going anywhere, a police officer said, walking up the driveway. We have some questions about wire transfers to Panama. I watched as my parents were handcuffed and read their rights, their carefully constructed world crumbling in real time. The antiques stay, I told the moving crew. Family heirlooms, I have documentation. As the police cars pulled away, I walked into my childhood home one last time. The walls were bare, hooks showing where family photos once hung. Photos that never included Alyssa. You okay? Noah asked softly. Look at this, Alyssa said, picking up a fallen photo. It showed Helen at 22, pregnant, smiling genuinely. This was when she was carrying me, before she chose status over love. My phone buzzed. Dr. Amara. Just got your blood work. Everything's on track for the IVF. Don't forget tomorrow's injection. Speaking of new beginnings, Ezra said, walking in with a thick envelope, Amara and I have been talking. We have a proposal for you. He laid out documents on the kitchen counter, plans for a small non-profit organisation, a support centre for people dealing with fertility issues and family estrangement. We'd like to fund it, with you as director. What? You've spent your life helping children, he said. Now help build the kind of support system you never had. Tears welled up as I looked around, at Noah's gentle smile, at Josephine's fierce loyalty, at Alyssa's newfound sisterhood, at the friends who became family when blood failed. Yes, I said, yes to all of it. Outside, another police car pulled up, probably for Killian's case. The local news van wasn't far behind, but for the first time in my life, I wasn't hiding from the truth. I was creating it. Let's go home, Noah said softly. Home? Not this house of lies, but somewhere new, somewhere true. Yes, I said again, let's go home. The ultrasound screen flickered to life as Dr. Amara moved the wand across my stomach. There, she said softly. Listen. A strong, steady heartbeat filled the room, my baby's heartbeat. Noah squeezed my hand as tears rolled down my cheeks. That's our little fighter, he whispered. Perfect development, Dr. Amara smiled. The IVF took beautifully. My phone buzzed, Alyssa sending a photo of the newly painted sign outside our family support centre. New beginnings, fertility and family support services. Speaking of new beginnings, Dr. Amara said, wiping the gel off my stomach. Have you seen today's paper? She handed me the local news section. The headline read, Richardson family fraud case ends in guilty pleas. Mum, Dad and Killian all took deals, I said. Minimal jail time, but full restitution required. And the Harrisons? Audrey's doing great. She's running her family's charitable foundation now. Actually donated to our centre last week. Noah helped me sit up as Dr. Amara printed the ultrasound photos. How's the support group going? Full house every meeting. Turns out there are a lot of people dealing with toxic families. Last night, this woman shared how her parents tried to steal her inheritance and... A knock at the door interrupted us. Josephine poked her head in, grinning. Sorry to crash the appointment, but you need to see this. She held up her phone, showing a video of my mother in an orange jumpsuit being interviewed for a documentary about family fraud. I made mistakes, Helen was saying, looking older and deflated. I abandoned one daughter and exploited another. I chose status over love again and again, and now I've lost everything. Did she mention me? Alyssa asked, walking in behind Josephine. Only to finally admit you were right, Josephine replied. The professor she loved, the baby she gave up, all of it. Too little, too late, Alyssa said, but her voice held more peace than bitterness. Dr. Amara handed me the ultrasound photos. Your little one's going to have quite the story to tell someday. A better story than mine, I said. One about chosen family and breaking cycles. Speaking of family, Noah said, pulling out an envelope, I have something to ask you. My heart skipped as he got down on one knee right there in the exam room. I know we've only been together since this whole mess started, he said softly, but you've shown me what real family means, what real love looks like. Will you? Yes, I cut him off, laughing through tears. Yes, you wonderful man. Josephine was already recording as he slipped the ring on my finger, a simple, elegant band that was everything my brother's gaudy wedding would never be. Now that's a real love story, Alyssa said, hugging me carefully around my slight baby bump. My phone buzzed one last time, a message from my father. I know we don't deserve forgiveness, but your mother and I have been doing counselling in here. If you'll let us someday, we'd like to try to earn back a place in your life and meet our grandchild on your terms. You don't have to answer, Noah said gently. I know. I typed back, maybe someday, but first you need to make things right with all your children. I forwarded the message to Alyssa, who read it and smiled. Baby steps. Speaking of babies, Dr. Amara said, don't forget your vitamins, and the centre's teen support group meets tonight. Already handled, Noah said. I'm covering it so you can rest. I looked around the room, at my fierce, loyal sister who rose from secrets and shame, at Josephine who exposed truth without flinching, at Dr. Amara who gave me more than just medical care, at Noah who showed me what real partnership felt like. They said I'd never have a family without them, I said softly, touching my stomach. They were wrong. They were wrong about everything, Alyssa replied, taking my hand. As we left the clinic, I saw my reflection in the window, glowing, strong, surrounded by love. No more hiding, no more shame, no more sacrificing my dreams for others' greed. Ready to go home? Noah asked, his hand protective on my back. Home, not a house built on lies and manipulation, but a life built on truth and choice and love. Yes, I said, holding up the ultrasound photo. We're ready. The summer sun warmed my face as we walked to the car, my chosen family chattering around me. Behind us, Dr. Amara called out, "See you next week." Next week, next month, next year. A future stretching out bright and true, built on my terms, filled with the kind of love that chooses you back. I touched my stomach again, feeling my baby move. We're going to be just fine. And for the first time in my life, I knew that was absolutely true.